Imogen Heap is an accomplished musician whose career achievements to date are pretty mind-boggling. She writes, performs, produces and mixes all of her own solo work, and she's produced tracks for countless other artists. But best of all, she's here in New Zealand and joining me today. How are you, Imogen?
I'm very good. I've had a whole day of sun yesterday, so I feel rejuvenated, revitalised.
Now, I've been kind of stalking you a little bit. Well, not stalking, just watching your tweets on Twitter, and I heard that you had a bit of a run up One Tree Hill.
We did, yes, it was very good. Well, because you see, it probably wouldn't have happened if we'd had a bit of time here and we got used to the time zones, but I just thought, well, 6 o'clock in the morning, it doesn't feel like 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm not really an early riser, but we all wanted to kind of get started, just started on this tour with a kind of healthy attitude, and also there's something about a sunrise just at the beginning of the tour, kind of very significant, and we wanted to do something all together. So yeah, we jogged up One Tree Hill, some of us slower than others, and we got to the top panting, and we saw that there wasn't a tree there.
No, yeah, it's kind of false advertising, but... Yeah. Now, Imogen, can we talk a little bit about the past couple of years, because you've recently released your third studio album, Ellipse, and I hear that your childhood home had a part to play in that.
It did, yes. Well, before, after I finished Speak For Yourself, which is the one previous to this one, which is called Ellipse, I got back off tour and I was really knackered and I just needed a break. So I went away because I wanted to think about this big deal, because my dad was going to sell the lovely house, and things maybe a little bit difficult, and so I didn't want it to go, and so I bought it. But it was a big decision because it's the family house. There's lots of things that are attached to it, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to go back. It felt like I was going backwards a little. But when I just thought of the idea of not having this house anymore in our family, and not being able to be in the garden, not being able to go on the roof, and not being able to play the piano in the dining room, I got very sad. And so I just thought, I'm going to do it. It's meant to be. So I went there and I took it on, and I built the studio in my old playroom and moved into the countryside, and life's been great. I really loved it. I've taken my childhood eyes, when I was 12 I left there, and come back with adult eyes, and just really just loving the space, like loving the area. I never really went out jogging or anything like that. I was really little. Never really went into the parks, and just really appreciating it. So lots of things came back, flooding back, and infused lyrically into the album.
You interact with your fans a lot. I mean, you use the internet so much, and you speak with them. I mean, you even have asked them to contribute to writing a bio for you once. Yeah. Why is communicating with your fans so important to you?
In the same way that if you just spent your life kind of pottering around on a desert island alone, you wouldn't really progress very much, and need that contact. And it's the same with me for music. Like, my music doesn't feel, I don't think with anyone it would. You know, you finish your music in the studio and you can have just as much partying kind of with yourself, going, yeah, I'm good, it sounds good, right? Me, yeah? And you have a conversation with yourself. But then it doesn't exist until it's been replied to in the ears of people listening to it for the first time. And so that kind of dance between me and the listener is something that I wanted to bring in earlier into the album process, because I just thought it'd be fun. And also, I just love where it takes me. It gives me this kind of allowance that, because they've seen it growing, they've seen the way I've been working on the album, so I feel like I don't have to worry about, oh, are they going to like the album, you know, because they've seen it in the process. They know what they're expecting a little bit, even though they don't really know because they haven't heard it all together. But it really helped me like relax into being who I felt comfortable being on a record. So that communication, really, it's just that feeling like I'm not on my own in the world, and even though of course I have friends and I have family, but for the music too, it's like I want it to feel like it has friends and family, and that it's not just for me.